Hey everyone! No one in this world is without some kind of weakness. And of course, we all have our strengths, some of which we may not even realize or know how to tap into. In today's video, however, we're not diving into everyday weaknesses. Instead, we're exploring the vulnerabilities men and women experience in romantic relationships. So, stick around until the end of this video. If you find the content helpful or meaningful, please support our channel by hitting like and sharing, or feel free to drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your support is a huge motivation for us to keep creating valuable content. As we know, many men believe that winning a woman's heart is a difficult task, but the truth is, it's often because they haven't understood what makes women vulnerable. Similarly, many women feel they can't hold on to their partner, often because they too haven't figured out the key weaknesses of men. So, what are these so-called weaknesses of men and women? Let's dive in and break it all down. Men are often easily swayed by what they see, while women are more captivated by what they hear. Men tend to use sweet words to lure women, and women in turn use their beauty to charm men. That's why, when it comes to attractiveness, men judge with their eyes, and women judge with their ears. There's a well-known saying, "Even heroes fall for beauty," and it couldn't be more true. Throughout history, great men have been mesmerized by beautiful women. It's rare to find a man who isn't at least a little moved by physical beauty. No matter how virtuous or self-controlled a man may be, he ultimately finds it hard to resist the allure of a beautiful woman. If a man stands before a stunning woman without feeling even the slightest stir of emotion, there's a good chance he might have some issues with his sexuality, not necessarily because he's exceptionally strong-willed. A man's fascination with beauty stems from a primal physical desire and a strong instinct to possess. It's simply part of male nature. But it's not as negative as it might seem. After all, in life, we're all drawn to beauty and strive for perfection. A man admiring a beautiful woman is no different from someone appreciating a masterpiece of art. In fact, some studies even suggest that admiring beautiful women could contribute to men living longer. So, is this fascination really a bad thing? Not at all. The problem arises only when a man's obsession with beauty causes him to lose himself and forget his values. In beauty, there lies desire, the desire for men to possess that beauty for themselves. When a man becomes determined to fulfill his desires at all costs, this becomes his ultimate weakness. Think about it. Beauty pageants and contests like Miss Universe exist largely because of men's psychological and physical attraction to beauty. If men weren't captivated by beauty or driven by desire, there wouldn't be any beauty queens, because who else would be there to judge what makes a woman beautiful? To overcome this weakness, men must learn to control their perception of beauty instead of being controlled by it. If a man fails to rein in his visual cravings and physical desires, he risks losing himself completely. As for women, reality shows that they often falter under the influence of compliments and sweet words. They struggle to resist the temptation of auditory flattery and material wealth. This is why, gentlemen, if you have a friend who constantly showers your wife with compliments, be cautious. Don't be too proud. Women, regardless of their appearance, love to receive admiration from men. They enjoy casting their charm and being praised. The more compliments they hear, the more joyful they feel, often replaying those words in their minds long after they've been said. That's why, if a husband's friend consistently compliments his wife, she's likely to think about him more fondly than her own husband. If pursuing beautiful women is like a stimulant that drives men forward in love, then receiving compliments from men is the ultimate nourishment that encourages women to enhance their appearance. In the realm of love, men are often skeptical about the idea of love at first sight, while women are more likely to fall for someone the moment they meet them. Women are often compared to gentle kittens, craving the soothing touch of their caretaker, or to delicate flowers, yearning for the nourishing rain. They thrive on constant affirmation and praise, always seeking reassurance in love. This is why women often ask their partners the familiar question, "Do you love me?" No matter how many times a man says it, she will always want to hear it again and again. A woman's ears are like finely tuned radio waves, ready to pick up love signals from every direction. Women are often at their most radiant when they are in love, because the men they adore consistently compliment them and express their feelings. For women, hearing loving words fulfills an emotional need, satisfying them time and time again and making them feel cherished and beautiful. This highlights why many married women often feel disappointed or complain that their husbands have become stingy with words, especially the phrase, "I love you," which seems to disappear over time. When a wife stops hearing sweet, loving words from her husband, she starts to feel restless and uneasy. Over time, this emotional neglect can lead her to seek fulfillment elsewhere. In fact, most married women who end up having affairs do so because another man consistently says the sweet words she craves. When her husband stops expressing affection, a woman's heart becomes less sensitive, much like a flower that withers without water. But when someone else comes along and showers her with kind and loving words, it's as if that flower is suddenly watered and brought back to life. She feels rejuvenated, alive, and even younger when she's around him. Her body releases more hormones, reigniting her energy and desire. This emotional vulnerability is one of women's key weaknesses, alongside a strong desire for material comfort. However, women are more likely to fall for a man's words than for his wallet. Some men, despite lacking wealth or status, still attract many women. Why? Because their words perfectly satisfy a woman's need for auditory affirmation. A man who knows how to speak to a woman's heart can be more alluring than any amount of money. In conclusion, the biggest weakness for men is their attraction to physical beauty, while for women, it's their susceptibility to sweet and persuasive words. For modern men and women who want to achieve happiness and find love, it's essential to understand these critical vulnerabilities in both genders. Men should learn how to charm and soothe women with words that fulfill their emotional needs, leaving a lasting impression. Meanwhile, women should focus on taking care of themselves, enhancing their beauty and charm. By doing so, women can captivate and build a fulfilling relationship with the man they love. Understanding and addressing these dynamics is the key to nurturing a happy and balanced relationship. Why are women more prone to infidelity in thought than men? An anonymous woman shared her story with the program, revealing that she and her husband have been married for 8 years and have a son and a daughter. Their financial situation is relatively stable. However, there is an issue that only those involved can truly understand. Her husband is very authoritarian, always believing he is right and refusing to listen to anyone, even his own parents. Recently, she has found herself thinking more and more about a coworker at her company. He is mature, respectable, and always attentive and helpful to others. She wishes her husband could be like him and wonders if this means she is emotionally cheating. In essence, the behavior this woman is exhibiting aligns with the concept of emotional cheating. Emotional cheating is defined as the feeling of longing for someone of the opposite sex who is not your spouse, to the point where it alters your behavior toward your current partner. Subconsciously, the woman feels unsettled, yet still wants to protect her family. Those who find themselves in this situation often face 2 major challenges. The first and most urgent step is to end the emotional infatuation with the coworker by avoiding interactions with him as much as possible. If your feelings are too strong, you may need to consider switching to a different job to protect your family and maintain professionalism with your coworker. The second step is to focus on improving and rebuilding a positive relationship with your husband. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. The coworker's strengths happen to be the areas where your husband falls short, which has caused you to become infatuated and overlook your husband's positive traits. Once you realize this, shift your focus back to discovering your husband's strengths and finding joy in your children, your work, and your family life. After all, the man you chose to journey through these 8 years with must have his own unique qualities. Surveys about satisfaction and fulfillment in marital life show that women are more prone to emotional cheating than men. In practice, most men who cheat do so because of sexual desires, whereas women often seek emotional fulfillment. From an objective standpoint, emotional cheating might seem harmless since it doesn't involve any physical actions. Both men and women in such situations often don't prioritize sexual relationships, which leads many to believe that emotional cheating is not a form of betrayal. However, this hidden connection can be far more dangerous than physical cheating, especially for women. Why is that? Because emotional cheating creates an invisible but powerful bond that can slowly erode the trust, intimacy, and stability in a marriage. For women, it often begins as admiration or longing but can grow into a deeper emotional attachment that jeopardizes their family life. If you find yourself in this situation, take it seriously. Address it before it escalates. Emotional cheating might not leave physical evidence, but its impact on your relationship can be devastating. Women often don't realize when they've fallen deeply into this type of emotional relationship. These connections usually start under the guise of friendship or as coworkers sharing life's ups and downs. Over time, as they receive more empathy and care from the other person, women may develop stronger feelings, leading to emotional infidelity. Many believe they aren't doing anything wrong since these are just inner thoughts and feelings, without any physical betrayal. However, once deeply involved, women often become consumed by their emotions and increasingly dependent on this virtual relationship. They may share personal stories about their lives and families with the other person, growing distant and indifferent toward their husbands. In reality, many marriages have ended in divorce after emotional infidelity was discovered. This is why both women and men need to recognize the potential dangers of emotional cheating, which may seem harmless but can seriously threaten family happiness. A married woman shows these 3 signs. She might be craving something new in her love life. Not every man with a wife only has eyes for her, and similarly, not every woman with a husband sees only him in her life. Marriage is complex, and it's difficult to predict what might happen within a relationship. It's clear that marriage based on love and marriage influenced by physical desires are not entirely the same. A person might deeply love their partner, yet still engage in intimacy with someone else. Both men and women exhibit certain external signs when they're involved in infidelity. In today's video, let's take a closer look at these warning signs and explore what they might reveal. Stay tuned. The psychology of a married woman who develops feelings for another man. Psychologically speaking, if a married woman finds herself attracted to another man while still in her marriage, it's rarely actual love. Numerous psychological studies have shown that married women find it difficult to truly fall in love with another man. What often feels like romantic emotions are, in fact, the result of emotional voids created by her husband or the marriage itself. For example, if a woman isn't receiving attention, affection, or happiness in her marriage, or if her physical needs aren't being met, she may develop an emotional emptiness. This void makes her more receptive to emotional energy from an external source. She might unconsciously use this external emotional connection to fill that gap, or, at the very least, to feel a sense of temporary satisfaction or compensation. These feelings are not about true love, but rather a response to unmet emotional needs within her marriage. Recognizing this distinction is key to understanding the situation and addressing the root causes of discontent in the relationship. Studies in psychology reveal that over 70% of women who cheat do so because of dissatisfaction with bedroom matters, rather than simply a lack of emotional connection. Physical desire is often the primary motivator for a woman to seek a relationship with another man outside her marriage. While other factors, such as emotional support, financial security, or status, may also play a role, these tend to be secondary drivers. In many cases, women may believe they are seeking emotional solace, but this is often a rationalization that masks the underlying truth. The real question lies in the ultimate goal of the affair. If a woman cheats for financial gain, intimacy becomes a tool to achieve that goal. Conversely, for women who cheat because of physical desires, emotional factors often serve as mere justifications or stepping stones toward fulfilling their sexual needs. Interestingly, many women find themselves trapped in the cycle of physical passion once they've engaged in infidelity. The allure of satisfying these desires can become difficult to escape, despite initial beliefs that the affair stemmed from emotional needs. Ultimately, for many women, the true end goal of infidelity is physical fulfillment, not emotional connection as often claimed. So, what are the warning signs that a married woman may be interested in another man and ready to engage in an extramarital relationship? Stay tuned as we explore these indicators in depth. First sign: she frequently chats and shares personal stories with another man. When a married woman starts sharing deeply personal matters, including details about her family and marital life, with another man, it's often a sign that there are underlying problems in her marriage. Typically, if she has no intention of being unfaithful, she would confide in female friends or colleagues, rather than opening up to a man. If she frequently texts or talks to another man about her personal struggles, it's a clear signal she's trying to connect with him on a deeper level. By revealing her unhappiness in her marriage, she's indirectly communicating her feelings of loneliness, and possibly her interest in him. In some cases, these conversations serve as a way to test or gauge the man's response. Once he becomes emotionally involved in her stories, she may not hesitate to express her true feelings. Such exchanges also create opportunities for her to send subtle signals of romantic or physical interest, especially in moments when they're together. For instance, during close interactions, she might directly hint at her willingness to deepen the relationship. If a married woman frequently confides in a man about her marital struggles and personal challenges, the line between emotional support and infidelity becomes dangerously thin. This behavior often indicates that an affair is not far off. Be mindful of this dynamic, as it highlights the vulnerability in her current relationship and the potential for crossing boundaries. Second sign: she frequently criticizes her husband while praising another man. If a married woman often criticizes her husband, even without openly discussing her marital life, while consistently praising another man, the likelihood of infidelity is significantly high. In many cases, the man she's complimenting is the one she's emotionally or romantically drawn to. For example, if a married woman frequently compares you to her husband and speaks of you in a more favorable light, it's a clear signal that she may have feelings for you. When a woman starts comparing her husband to another man, particularly if she belittles her husband while elevating the other man, it's a serious red flag. This behavior indicates that she's mentally placing the other man above her spouse in terms of qualities or attributes she desires. The situation becomes even more concerning if these comparisons extend to bedroom matters. If a married woman begins contrasting her husband unfavorably in this area, it's a strong indicator that her dissatisfaction has crossed into a realm that could lead to infidelity. Such comparisons are not only hurtful to the marriage, but also a clear sign of emotional or physical drift toward the man she admires. Third sign: she frequently engages in physical touch with another man. A significant indicator of potential infidelity is when a married woman frequently initiates or allows physical contact with another man. These touches may seem casual, like a pat on the shoulder, a lingering handshake, or playful gestures, but they often carry deeper meaning. For a woman who is married, physical touch is typically reserved for her husband or close family. When she begins to break that boundary with another man, it suggests a growing level of comfort and intimacy. These seemingly small gestures can signal that she's testing the waters or expressing her interest in a more subtle, nonverbal way. Frequent physical contact may also serve as a way for her to gauge the other man's reaction, building a sense of closeness or emotional connection. If this behavior becomes a pattern, it's a strong sign that she's emotionally or physically drawn to him, and it could be a precursor to a deeper extramarital relationship. How to prevent your husband from cheating. Infidelity can happen in any marriage, and regardless of the reasons, a husband's unfaithfulness can put your family's happiness on the brink of collapse. A broken marriage doesn't just affect the couple, it can also have a significant negative impact on the children. Many women find themselves wondering how they can prevent their husbands from cheating. Taking proactive steps to address this issue can help protect and strengthen your marriage, preserving the harmony of your home. Here are some effective tips to help women prevent their husbands from straying and maintain a happy, healthy relationship. Stay tuned. 1. Communicate regularly. Building trust in your marriage starts with open and honest communication. Both you and your husband should proactively share your concerns, thoughts, and feelings. Open communication allows both partners to understand each other on a deeper level. Make it a habit to talk to your husband daily about how he feels and how you feel as well. If something doesn't feel right or there's an issue that needs addressing, don't wait to bring it up. Speak about it as soon as possible. Problems shared openly are much easier to resolve than those kept bottled up, which can lead to misunderstandings and resentment. 2. Avoid being overly controlling. To maintain harmony and keep your husband engaged in the relationship, avoid being overly controlling or restrictive. No one likes feeling trapped or micromanaged, and this includes your spouse. Don't act as an angry, overly critical wife who punishes him for minor mistakes. Instead, give your husband the space he needs to feel free and respected. Let him have his own personal time, and, when possible, encourage him to spend time with his friends. While he loves and values his family, every man occasionally needs some private space to relax and recharge. A healthy balance of togetherness and independence can strengthen your relationship and help your husband feel more committed to you. 3. Put your relationship with your spouse first. As mentioned earlier, some men cheat because they feel lonely in their marriage. This can happen when their spouse is too focused on work, the children, or caring for a family member in need. While life's demands are unavoidable, it's essential to prioritize your marriage and make time for your relationship. Ensure that your husband doesn't feel neglected or isolated in his own home. Show him that, no matter how busy life gets, he is still your partner and an important part of your life. Small gestures of affection, quality time together, and regular appreciation can help bridge emotional gaps and keep your bond strong. 4. Avoid excessive criticism. There will inevitably be times when your husband makes mistakes, but it's crucial not to overreact or criticize him excessively for minor issues. For example, if he frequently comes home late from work, avoid nagging or scolding him constantly. Instead, address the situation calmly and constructively. Men appreciate feeling valued and respected, and your words play a significant role in shaping how he feels about himself. If you're overly critical, he may start seeking validation elsewhere, which could lead to emotional or physical distance. Focus on building him up with encouragement and understanding, rather than tearing him down with unnecessary criticism. 5. Keep him captivated. If you want your husband to stay deeply in love with you and focused entirely on your relationship, work on keeping him enchanted by you. One of the simplest yet most effective ways to do this is by paying attention to your appearance and personal style. Take care of yourself. Don't neglect your own beauty and self-care. Always wear neat, presentable outfits, keep your hair tidy, and maintain a regular grooming routine. When you prioritize your own self-presentation, it not only boosts your confidence, but also keeps your husband's attention firmly on you. If you don't make an effort to captivate your husband, his eyes might wander toward other women who do. Keeping the spark alive in your marriage requires ongoing effort and care, and ensuring you feel good about yourself is a great place to start. 6. Bring freshness to your intimate connection. If you want to reduce the chances of your boyfriend or husband straying, pay close attention to the intimate side of your relationship. Make him feel desired and ensure that you can fulfill his needs. There are many ways to add excitement and freshness to your private life. Be open to exploring new experiences together, and let him know that you're willing to try new things. Keeping intimacy fresh and engaging can strengthen your connection and help maintain a passionate, long-lasting relationship. A sense of novelty and intimacy helps keep your relationship with your husband strong and passionate. 7. Be your husband's best friend. Strive to become the kind of friend your husband can confide in and share anything with. Be there for him when he needs support, and give him the space to grow without feeling stifled or restricted. When you're not only his wife but also his closest friend, he's less likely to betray your trust through infidelity. 8. Bring him back to the relationship. If you notice that your husband is starting to distance himself emotionally or physically, avoid rushing to accusations. Instead, focus on gently bringing him back to the relationship. Have an honest and heartfelt conversation with him to understand what might be bothering him. Show him your commitment to resolving the issues together, and make an effort to help him reconnect with you. However, if he seems uninterested in repairing the relationship despite your efforts, it may be time to consider letting go. Prioritizing your own well-being is just as important as trying to save the marriage. 9. Talk to your husband about the consequences of infidelity. Have a serious conversation with your husband about the potential consequences of cheating. Make it clear what he stands to lose if he engages in infidelity. When a husband knows that you won't tolerate betrayal and that cheating comes with real consequences, he's less likely to consider it. If he still chooses to cheat despite your boundaries, be firm and make him face the repercussions of his actions. Don't offer him an easy way out or allow him to avoid accountability. There are many reasons why a man may turn to infidelity. It could stem from his own issues or, in some cases, from dynamics within the marriage. Regardless of the cause, infidelity is a betrayal and should be condemned. As a smart and proactive woman, take steps to prevent infidelity and protect the happiness and stability of your family. By addressing potential problems early and maintaining open communication, you can help create a strong, lasting bond in your marriage.